Hey, Cancer. Intuitive Soul Coach here with your November 2023 monthly reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, welcome. This is good for any and all placements of Cancer in your chart, or you're welcome here if you are a cross watcher. Now, the key themes showing up for you in the month of November, we have mending and shadow work, which came out together. This is a powerful combination. It tells me that a lot of you've gone through the worst of things, or you've gone through the thick of things here. Now, because you have the mending card showing up with this, you are coming together. There is here a sense of coming home to oneself. There is a deep sense of understanding. And you also have the great outdoors that came out. So some of you could even be going on a spiritual quest, a spiritual trip. You could be traveling to a spiritual center that's helping you mend and overcome some of the difficulties, shadows, or obstacles that you face. Now, what you don't see coming is you have the intuition card, and the intuition card is saying that your intuition is on point, and things that you weren't able to maybe tap into, or if your intuition felt blocked because of some shadows here, you are healing that, and you're going to see that there's light at the end of the tunnel. There's something quite magnificent coming in here for you. So let's talk about this for a moment. Some of you, this has to do with a loss, the loss of a loved one. This is a physical loss. It could be an emotional loss of a relationship. For others of you, this could be the loss of a job. This could be a loss of identity as well. Sometimes we go through different phases of our lives, and we shed layers and we add layers, right? We have these conditionings, and sometimes we forget who we are, and we have to start to peel away those layers to remember where our soul truly came from and what we're made of. And because you have the mending card here, there's forgiving. This can be about repairing. For others of you, you may have gone through a very concerning health challenge with yourself or someone close to you, but it was deep. And I also get that if you were in a relationship, or this has to do with someone close to you, you may have been able to see yourself. There may have been some self-actualizations that have occurred because you were able to see things through this other person. And that's why you have the mirrored energy with the shadow work. I don't throw out the term twin flame often. Cancer, but for some of you, it certainly could have been a false twin flame or real twin flame as well that had showed you this path or showed you things that you weren't able to see without them. Now, this has to do with healing. Again, some of you, this is about the ego self, taking a look at some of the wounds or the conditions or the shadows that ego self has placed upon. This can be therapy, addictions, buried emotions, trauma, and repairing the pieces and parts of ourselves that we found broken or we found lost, because there's some sort of separation that has occurred here for you in the past. And I'm just getting this strong sense of renewal, rebirth. And I believe that you have quite a few. Yeah, you start off with the death, and you have the death here. And so I'm getting a lot of death energy around you. So again, that's not a premonition of, a physical death, but it's certainly the death of a situation, a major transformation, one where you will never be the same in a sense. And I feel that you've had to experience or go through this situation. It may have been out of your control. And some of you, it was part of your life purpose to overcome some sort of difficulty here, or to work with embracing the energy that this brought upon you, because now you have the great outdoors. Some of you, you may have undergone a major surgery as well. It does say psychic surgery. For some of you, this could have been physical surgery. I get here hip and back. For some of you, there may have been some struggles with the hip and back. And then some of you, I feel like there was something removed from the body. Maybe it was a hysterectomy. Maybe it was, a piece of cancer. It was something here that may have been removed. Okay. Now you have the great outdoors, so wide open spaces. Allow yourself the space to breathe, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually this month. Now, as we navigate through Scorpio season, which is your fellow water sign, it's important to ride the ebb and flow. But look at this, there's actually calm waters here. So I feel that if you've been through a situation that has been challenging and a little bit stormy, because you have the mending card, it's not going to feel as difficult. Eclipse season could have been very powerful for you, Cancer, but the great outdoors is about solitude. Some of you would absolutely benefit from hiking, from camping, getting out in nature, grounding your energy. And this can be done by maybe a little bit of yoga or getting into your body more. This can be done with planting, working with green, essential oils, crystals. This can be meditating more, unplugging from your electronics or from your phone. Maybe even taking a step back from, people, places, and things just to gain solitude. But if you've already done that, because a lot of you are already in that hermit type of energy here, this could be where you are getting out of your comfort zone a little bit and maybe spending some more time breathing in the fresh air, drinking in the air here. So I like the great outdoors. There's a new perspective and a new shift here coming in for you as well. And it may come to you while you are outdoors or while you are gaining space from a situation. Now, again, what you don't see coming is your intuition is highlighted here. It's always been there all along, but as we said, sometimes when we go through some deep, painful things, it can feel like our intuition is way over here in left field. But I feel for you, because you're coming back home to yourself, your intuition is spot on this month. You really have this deep going within energy. It'd be a wonderful time for you to practice mysticism, practice your spirituality, connect with yourself through, again, nature, yoga, oracle or tarot, meditation, whatever this may be for you. This is paying attention to that voice within, okay? This is a deep sense of awareness that you now understand a situation from a higher point of view, because you're kind of taking a step outside of it, where sometimes when we are inside of it, it's hard for us to see kind of what's going on because we may be too emotionally invested, physically, whatever it may be. There may have been an entanglement, but now you're able to see things in a new light, which I really love. Now you start off here, Cancer, with the Death card and the King of Cups. So wow, whatever the situation was, it really brought about a lot of emotional energy. You have the Death card for a reason, card 13, and it says, release the past. There is a more enriching future coming. And one of my favorite Wayne Dyer quotes, let go and let God, right? Let go and let God, because you are being guided here to embrace change, to go with the flow. There's something that you are needing, and this is a necessity in order for you to move forward. You're needing to let go of. Okay, it could be a spiritual growth where there is some sort of mental conflict or mental pain, emotional. For some of you, this is emotional wounding. Okay, but you've matured, you've grown, you've learned from this situation. Now it's time to put it to rest. For some of you, this may have been a father, could have crossed over as well. Okay, I'm getting Bill or William or Bill. For some of you, it says it is safe for you to open your heart. It is safe for you to trust, even though sometimes we don't feel like it is, because we feel like we'll lose a person, or we'll lose out on, the love or whatever it may be if we disengage from it. But Spirit is saying it's safe for you to trust the ability to accomplish many different things at this time. Follow your heart, follow your creative passions, follow your bliss, because as you let go of the past, as you release, you come into more emotional experiences that can, yes, bring happiness, but it's riding that roller coaster, and you know far too well what that's like here. So let go and let God, because there is a more enriching experience for you. The King of Cups, I mean, he's someone who's very loving, very supportive, whether this is what you are attracting, what you are, letting go of or embracing. This could be the archetype of what you are as well. You're very warm, very generous, very honorable, and very refined as well. So this is Cups energy. But sometimes when we're feeling the lower polarity of the King of Cups, we can not be in touch with our emotions as much, or we may be cold or dramatic, or maybe even at times a little bit untrustworthy, or we feel like other people are untrustworthy and we have a difficult time then again trusting others. You may want to let that go, because that could be what you're being guided to release. Next, you have the 9 of Pentacles with the 7 of Cups. So I like that on almost every pairing here, you do have a cup card. So you are definitely feeling things this month. And the 7 of Cups says it's time to make a decision. You may have been wishy-washy, faltering, or going back, second guessing. Maybe you were indecisive. This is not the month to be indecisive. This is the month that you have that extra oomph, and it looks like your extra oomph is showing up in your intuition this month, Cancer. So you have what it takes to pay attention to that voice within. Be clear on what you want and take action, because there is a need for detoxification with the 7 of Cups, and that's what you are mending. That's what you're releasing here and letting go of. Possibly some buried emotions. You're putting them to rest once and for all. Because once you do that, it says you are heading towards great success. This says that your dreams will be fulfilled. Hard work leads to great success. And we see with the shadow work here, that is work, right? Shadow work is work. And again, it says hard work leads to great success. So for some of you, yes, it may be physical, or it may feel physical, it may feel emotional, but actually it is all of the above. It's part of that spiritual work here. And you're embracing and stepping into this new beginning by making the choice to do so. And you also have a love for the beautiful things. You want heart connections, you want beauty, you want to feel good about who you are with and what you're doing and how you make a living and how you spend your time here on earth and the people that you're with and the animals that you're with, right? You want to chase your rainbow. You don't want to feel like it's always stormy and cloudy, and you're going to make that decision to do so. They're also giving me waterfalls. So some of you, maybe you have a waterfall set up in your yard, or there could be a waterfall that you visit, or maybe it's a place that you're going or you're traveling to. Maybe you are on a boat, or you are, again, I'm getting here like visiting. Maybe this is a national park or a place that has a waterfall. That is your sign from spirit that your rainbow is right here within reach. Okay, so pay attention to the waterfalls. It could also be, again, if you have this in your backyard, this is extra important for you, because I feel like your hard work, yeah, you've paid off here. And some of you, this has been motivation, mental and spiritual motivation to do those physical things as well. Some of you could even be working on a home, I just heard, or working on your home life, or healing from something that has affected your stability within the home. Because next you have the 8 of Cups, 8 of Raphael mixed with the Magician. 8 of Cups is about moving towards something better, right? Doing what you know is right for you. And it literally says here, a spiritual quest. So Cancer, yes, some of you are physically, literally going on a spiritual quest. Maybe you're doing some sort of, ayahuasca journey in Costa Rica. For others of you, you could be going through a lot of spiritual enlightenment. I'm also getting here something with microdosing. So again, I'm not saying that these are the cure-alls. I'm not a medical professional. What works for one person may not, of course, work for everyone. But I feel like someone could be taking that route, and it may work for you. Okay, there is something better waiting. This is my Eat, Pray, Love card, the 8 of Cups, where it takes a little bit of work to walk away from what looks to be picture perfect at times on paper, but we know that paper is something that can be destroyed or burned, right? So I feel for you, it's about shattering that perfectionist illusion. There's something that maybe you didn't want to shake up because you didn't want to shatter that illusion. And that may have been self-denial, right? It may have been something that you didn't want to walk away from, or you didn't want to explore, because then that would mean that you had to admit to yourself that something wasn't as it seems. And that can be difficult for us to do. It can certainly be difficult for us to do. But now you have this opportunity to head towards something deeper. Do what you know is right for you, even if it's challenging. You have what it takes, because your intuition is guiding you along this path, and you have the magician as well. And the magician can manifest the life that he wants. It says what you need here, Cancer, it can magically appear, right? This is the beginning of something successful for you. The magician has all of the tools. They have the wands, they have the cups, the swords, and the pentacle. They have it there within their reach, within their hands. They have what it takes here. And there's more rainbow energy here for you as well. But when this magician shows up, this is about you using the skills, the personal power, the talents that you have to manifest the life that you want. Because when we misuse our power, which in the lower vibration, the magician can certainly misuse the power. And what are they going to manifest? Well, things that are in, maybe not their highest good. And maybe they put a facade on, right? Just like the magician can trick the audience into believing what they see. It's an illusion, right? Some of you are coming to terms with a situation here, and you're able to now be able to shatter the old illusion in order for you to rise above and create something that's fully and truly aligned with your soul's purpose. Powerful. Literally powerful. Next up, you have the Six of Wands and the King of Wands. This is what comes after you walk away from or leave this old behind, right? This part of this death energy, something that is, repairing, forgiving, healing, something that you've been working on. You have the Six of Cups. It says, congratulations, Cancer. Yes, congratulations are in order. Pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a nice big hug and squeeze yourself and hold yourself a little tighter, because you've done a wonderful job. Even though it doesn't always feel like you have, it's time to move on to this next chapter of your life. It's time to move on to this next beginning here. And it says awards, scholarships, promotions, recognition, some sort of public victory. This is coming in for you. This is the spotlight card as well. So for some of you, if you felt financially like you've been struggling and something's came to a major end, this is about you rising up from the ashes. The death card is the rising from the ashes card, right? Because you've been transformed in a way that you wouldn't have been transformed unless you went through that situation. Some of you were fired from the corporate world possibly, or let go of a situation in the corporate world. Maybe you choose to walk in order for you to go off and explore on your own. The King of Wands is the entrepreneur, the business owner, businesswoman of the tarot. They're leaders, very successful, very influential, very motivational, very adventurous and warm. Now, you can be quite generous. You can be quite dramatic at times, but you also can be driven by that force that works through you, right? Your watery element of emotion. So you can let that emotion drive you. It says, keep your eye on the big picture. Leave the details to others. Experiences that lead to success. Genuine concern for others. Some of you are healers. That's why you have the mending and the shadow work. Okay, thank you, Spirit. I'm getting shadow work book. Maybe, I'm sure there's such things, right? But some of you, maybe you're writing a book on shadow work, or it could be a memoir about your own shadows. For others of you, maybe you're journaling more, or maybe you've literally bought a book that says shadow work. But I do feel here that you're an inspiration to others through sharing your story, through being able to help others heal. Whether you do this professionally or personally, it doesn't matter. It's part of your mission here on earth, is to share what you've gone through, to travel, to experience life to its fullest, to help others out of genuine authenticity. It's about you achieving the sense of status that you want here on earth. And it's not, again, coming from a place of altered ego or manipulation or greed. It is coming from a place of genuine soul's truth for what you want. And I feel like a lot of you want to be seen in a way that inspires people. You want to be seen as a generous soul, an individual, and I feel like you are. This is part of why you had to go through this experience, because your final outcome is the Three of Cups. More celebratory energy here for you, Cancer. There could have even been someone that you met around your birthday, or there could have been a significant shift or change. I'm getting July specifically for some of you, but there could have been something that may have passed you by, or something that happened, altered, changed, or shift your life. And now you're able to celebrate a community of friends, happy announcements regarding, it could be relationships, it could be children, it could be the news of a birth, it could be a new job. Some of you, this is a wedding reception, a school reunion, maybe even passing a test. Okay, there's some sort of announcement that's coming in that's actually going to bring a lot of harmony, a lot of creativity, a lot of, unification here as well. There's a coming together is what I sense. Now, when it comes to career, here's another card of death or ending. So something, again, may have hit you hard. This could have been a rough patch that you've gone through. Maybe you've had to borrow money, or you felt low on cash. Now, for others of you, if you're doing good, because we do have some really wonderful cards behind it, if you're doing good, this can be an end to an old way of thinking. It can be an end to helping, an end to suffering is what I'm hearing. Some of you are being called through hospice work, through healing, through reinventing yourself. You're called to help others end their suffering in some way, shape, or form. Okay, some of you may have even you chose to help someone who was dying, someone who wasn't able to do things for themselves. You may have been their caregiver. You may have been their, hospice worker or nurse, hospice nurse or doctor, where you have shifted and altered this person's life. But what you don't realize is how much they've impacted yours. Okay, so I definitely get this skull card for you isn't a bad thing. Maybe it was in the past, but because you're coming out of this, and you're definitely going to be out of it by December, by Sagittarian season, which is actually the 23rd of November is when we enter that new cycle. Because the ornaments, to me, I always think of December. That's my sign symbolically for Sagittarian season, or December. So yeah, there could be extra money coming in around that time, towards the end of November into the December. It's about mature investments. I also get very strongly that some of you, there's going to be an inheritance or money left to you from someone who's crossed over. It may come in around that time. Someone could be deciding to retire as well. You have retirement here. So death, an ending of an old cycle. And that can be difficult at times. When we've been working for, 40, 50, 60 years, whatever it may be, and you retire, that's a complete shift. Of course, I've never retired, but I'm sure I can only imagine that is a big change in one's life. So if you are thinking about retiring here, trust your intuition, because I feel like you are closing out chapters. This is about finish work for some of you, possibly carpentry. It could be, I'm getting here, attention to details when it comes to furniture. So maybe you reupholster furniture. Maybe you're putting some sort of crown molding or details to a home or to a project. So I'm getting here that you're very detail oriented around a situation. Some of you could be decorating this month as well. If you celebrate the holidays, right? You could be decorating. I also sense that a loved one who may have crossed over, they may have collected maybe Santa ornaments or angels. There could be an angel or a specific ornament. Whew, I'm getting emotional here. Someone may have made or gifted you an ornament, and it may take you by surprise when you see it, when it comes out this year. But Ride those emotions, allow them to come to you, and do what you need to do to work through those emotions, whether that's crying, whether it's reaching out, whether it's journaling, whether it's looking through old photo albums, whatever it may be for you. This could also be a child. Maybe you had a child that left the home, right? Maybe they've went out off on their own. Maybe they've struggled themselves, and maybe you come across a handprint ornament or a picture of them on an ornament or something they've made you, and it just stirs up some feelings because maybe you've had to go through a lot of shadow work with this child or this person. But you do have retail. Some of you could be in the beauty industry or the retail industry as well with the ornaments. I am getting powerful, positive celebrations coming in here, which you have with the Three of Cups. So maybe you haven't seen someone for a while and they come home. Okay, maybe there's a relationship that you thought had ended, but it's been transformed. So sometimes we think that something has ended, just like the butterfly in the cocoon process, right? Before that caterpillar turns into a butterfly, it goes through that sticky, icky, gooey process, and it probably thinks that it's not going to come out alive, but it actually comes out stronger. So some of you, that's a situation in a relationship here. Now for others of you as well, you have this treasure. I love the treasure card because it talks about worry-free finances, and you've had to worry about them for quite some time. Some of you have, or you've had money in reserve, maybe even some gold, cryptocurrency, or just something that some of you, jewelry. Okay, I am getting jewelry here, maybe even mother of pearl or mother's pearls. Maybe that's literally someone's mother's pearls. This could be costume jewelry even. I am getting that there's some sentimental value in jewelry that may have been left to you. Okay, some of you may work in a jewelry shop or you may create jewelry as well. This is about sales, money in reserve, and having enough, having extra, or having excess, not having to worry. And maybe that's part of that inheritance or promotion or raise or something here that's worth celebrating. Now we have a lot of really wonderful cards here showing up. You have the money tree. You have the debt paid. You have the payday card. So those three together tell me that there could be some sort of large chunk of money coming in, or if you've been unemployed, any chunk of money can be significant to your future. But the money tree to me reminds me of that 10 of Pentacles, right? Legacy, inheritance. It's about growing and monetizing. I mean, you do have, after all, the King of Cups and the King of Wands. I mean, two king energies. It's all about action, moving forward, building wealth, building love, building momentum. These things already exist within yourself, but we have to step towards the next tier, right? In a sense, an energetic tier to embrace this energy. We also, of course, you have to work for these things, but I feel like there's something that's coming to you. And this isn't just some ones and some fives. I mean, these are all hundreds. So I feel like this is a significant amount of money. And then it could even be that you're paying off some sort of a debt here, debt consolidation. There may be an interest, because I'm getting some sort of interest loan, something combined, paid off. Like, whew, I don't have to pay that interest anymore. I don't have to pay on that home or that car, whatever that may be, that medical bill. It's being paid off here. And you have a little bit of a payday. So some of you may splurge, right? You may buy something, you may go shopping, buy something nice, take a trip, whatever it may be, whatever is within your grasp when it comes to finances. You could also be shopping with a child this month. You could be shopping for a child. Some of you, you're paying off a college loan. Okay, you also have deadlines and you have interview coming up. So for some of you who have reached a deadline, or maybe you've been waiting for this, because I get that this deadline is actually something that you've been anticipating, but it's going to turn out positive, or it's some sort of deadline that's actually a good deadline. It works for you in your favor, because right behind it as well, we have interview. So maybe there is a deadline that you are brushing up against, and now you get that job interview and boom, you got that job, and you are coming real close, very tight with money here. For others of you, I feel like you may be interviewing for, maybe it's even a child interviewing for college, or it could be that you are interviewing or put out maybe a resume, promotion. I'm getting here something with rental agreement as well. Someone may be thinking about real estate or putting in an application to become some sort of agent or agent of change. Ooh, I just heard that. I like it. Agent of change. Yes, you are, Cancer, because things are happening here for you. Now, in most of the readings, only 2 love readings or love cards have been showing up. But as I was putting down your cards and getting ready to go on to the next, Spirit says, no, not no. Spirit said, go with another set. So I pulled 3 more cards out here for you for love. So there's something that you don't see coming or something that is ultimately guiding you towards the end of the month, because right away you have make the effort and you have getting to know each other. And that's where I was going to stop. But then again, it's like Spirit said, keep going. So then we have very soon, we have, this could be the one, and we have soulmate. So what I'm getting from this is, for those of you that are in a relationship, some of you could be widowed. Some of you lost a parent or a family member or a friend that may have impacted this relationship. For others of you, there's been a shift in the dynamic because we don't stay who we were 20 years ago. Right? Yes, we marry people or we come together with the concept of this person is going to be the same person. And on a specific level they are, but because we're constantly growing, changing, and transforming, and we go through life's experiences and ups and downs, we build layers upon layers and we change, we transform. We're not the same person. So some of you, you could be feeling like someone is not the person you've married, but it could be about making the effort to mend or to heal this relationship if you want, of course, because you have the Death card and a lot of big changes. Some of you have parted ways already with someone and you're ready to get to know someone new. Because you have here, as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So strengthening relationships, mending and healing them, even if they've been transformed in big ways. Because something that is showing up here that Spirit wants you to know, because again, very adamant about keep going. Excuse me, it's happening for you. So clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And that's the energy of November. November is an energy of cutting through BS, right? It's cutting through not just BS, but cutting through fog, right? Cutting through indecisiveness. It is about us deciding what it is that we truly want when it comes to any area of our lives. But for you, in this case, there could be a soulmate that has entered your energetic field here, or that you already know, because it says you've already met or you are about to meet your soulmate or your partner. So I like this. There's definitely the opportunity here with all this cups energy. I mean, you have the 3, the 7, the 8, and the king. A lot of love showing up here for you, Scorpio. Or excuse me, Cancer. Maybe have I been calling you Scorpio this whole, well, maybe it's because we're in Scorpio season. So you have here the Dream Thief. Wow, this is such an interesting card. And look at that. It's also card 13. That's that death energy that we keep seeing. So don't let this loss, this conditioning, this experience rob you of your today. This reminds me of the monkey on Wizard of Oz, right? When the monkeys come swooping in, the dream thief can certainly steal, or feels like it's stealing your dreams because of such heaviness. But I feel because you have this death energy, the challenge for you this month, Cancer, is to not hang on, not resist this change, because you are being guided to change. That wheel is spinning. Excuse me. Some of you may be born on the 13th. Friday the 13th could be significant for you. I'm not sure when the next Friday the 13th is coming in. Again, you could be born on the 13th. Some of you, maybe your lucky number is 13. You could be seeing that, and it's so interesting that that's showing up here for you as well, because 13 gets such a bad rap or a bad connotation when actually 13 is quite a lucky number. So I feel like there could be a situation that you feel is negative based on what people or society has pressured you to believe, but it's actually quite the opposite. So you're shattering through the illusions this month, and that's part of this death energy. And you're actually coming together and rebuilding based on a sense of, inner truth, based on a sense of intuition, because you have here lost compass. This is about getting back in touch with your integrity, getting back in touch with yourself on a deeper soul level. It's card 35. Some of you may be 35 or 42. Now, Netcaster is showing up and it says preparations come to fruition. You've been training almost for a lifetime for this to happen in a positive way. For some of you, for a lot of you, this was soul contracted. Some deep wounding, some things that have happened here for you to experience, for you to navigate through, and to understand yourself in a more deep and meaningful way, Cancer. This is your preparation is now all coming to fruition here. And it's leading to, that celebration, the Three of Cups, right? Mending, healing, forgiving, coming together. You've done the shadow work. Now your final card here is No Place Like Home, card 50. Now this No Place Like Home is all about that sense of, community, home, family, soul tribe. It is a feeling of knowing that you're not here all by yourself. Now, I say this over and over and over because it's so true, and we forget it through spiritual amnesia is what I call it. When we are born into this earthly realm, we then tack on our egos, because our egos is what separates us from source. It is what allows us to have that human individual experience. But sometimes along the way, we have spiritual amnesia. We forget that we are a divine spark. We forget that we are all part of that same divine energy, and that there's divinity within us all, and there's that connectedness. And we feel like sometimes we're in relationships or situations that are, tit for tat, or they're, a big struggle, or it's been such a difficulty, or we're, all alone. We're the black sheep, or we're the one that doesn't have anybody else, or we don't have friends or, soulmates or people. But there is a sense this month of coming home to yourself, connecting with loved ones, ancestors who've even crossed over. They may be visiting through your dreams as well. Okay, there's definitely a lot of healing going on while you sleep. So for those of you that have struggled with sleep, I see sleep coming easier for you this month. I see dreams enhanced for you this month, as well as psychic and mediumship abilities. So be sure that you are tuning in, because we have it here right as you don't see it, right? Intuition. This is all about you trusting in these abilities, trusting that you have this greater place beyond. Once you peel away the layer upon layer upon layer, that there is a great gift underneath it all, and that gift is you. It's your souls. It's your life here on earth, as well as having that access to tune in to remember where you come from. That is what I have for you, Cancer. I hope it resonates. If so, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It certainly helps get the divine channeled messages out there to those that need it most, and it certainly helps the growth of the channel, which I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for all the likes, the shares, the super chats. I love tuning into your energy for private readings. I am so grateful to be a part of this community with you. If you, again, haven't already hit that subscribe and bell button, please do so. Lots of love to you, Cancer.